Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Man, what's happening, guys? Let me guess. Where are you guys at?
Scotland.
Scotland? No way.
Yep.
I got Scottish in me, man.
Oh, yeah?
Now, I hear bad things about the clan, but the Campbell clan.
Yeah, Campbell clan, I believe, were a bit murderous, were they not?
Are you kidding me? Are we really?
Listen, most of the clans back in the day were a bit murderous.
I think it was a bit of a free-for-all.
All right, don't mention that. Don't mention I'm Campbell. All right, I'm a Campbell.
So, obviously, I think we're all in the same boat. We're all stuck in quarantine. It looks nice and sunny where you are, Stephen. How has quarantine life been for you?
Well, to me, I mean, it's kind of normal for me. You know, I wake up in the morning. I spend most of my day at my family's gym, Upstate Karate in Simpsonville. So I spend most of my time there. I only come home to sleep. So with the quarantine for 2 months, I mean, we've had to kind of be innovative. So we started online classes. So me and my family have been going to the gym and rocking out classes online, which is new to us, to be honest with you. You know, we were doing stuff on Facebook Live. Now we've kind of got into the private groups, but 2 weeks ago we got the okay from the governor's office to open up our school. You know, the quarantine, I guess, guidelines here have been loosened just a little bit. Yeah. But for 2 months, it's been me going to the gym in an empty school and teaching classes to a computer. You know, so it's definitely different. So, but things are slowly getting back to normal. We have a 20,000 square foot facility. We got about 750 students. So we're allowed about 120 people in our studio at once. Yeah. So we have social distancing dots on the mats. You know, we're only allowing so many people to come in the gym, but slowly but surely things are coming back to normal. And like you said, man, yeah, it's sunny, 85 degrees here in South Carolina. Beautiful weather. What's it like there? What time is it there?
We are at 9:30 p.m. It's actually, for Scotland, it's not a bad night. We've been all right, haven't we, Danny, weather-wise, the last couple of weeks?
To be fair, it's the best. What month are we in? What day is it?
It's July. Yes, it's not July, it's May.
Probably the best weather we've had in May in a few years, to be fair.
It's kind of like
hopefully having this interview and seeing this sunny weather will give you some.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I think somebody up there is teasing us, saying you never get nice weather. Scottish people have it when you're in quarantine and you're allowed out once a day. But we've all been in the same sort of boat. You were saying there about the online stuff for the gym, Stephen. Is that something then going forward with the gym? Is that a part of the business you can expand on?
Well, we've had a lot of people asking us if we're going to continue to do so. But we find it fairly hard to be able to do both. I mean, at the moment, we're still offering online classes for those with underlying health issues or people not feeling comfortable coming into the gym. So we're still offering that, but in private groups. But I don't know, man. That's something we definitely need to look into. There's a lot of fans out there wondering if we're going to be doing this more often. So I'm going to talk to the head of the school, my pops, and see if we can get something going for sure. So at the moment, you know, I have my YouTube channel, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We do Technique Tuesdays and things like that. So, everybody around the world can kind of tune in for that if they'd like to. Yeah. But I don't know, it's kind of difficult at this point.
Yeah, just when you mention your YouTube channel there, I've actually been quite enjoying your YouTube channel, specifically the Wonderboy Reacts videos. I was going to mention this. I've got to point out one video. I think it was you were 19. It was a kickboxing bout, but I want to speak about the interview before it. Now, you were rocking, I believe, some blonde tips. Was it a seashell necklace? And
yeah, man, that was the thing. That was the thing back in the day, early 2000s. If you weren't rocking a shell necklace, you were a loser. So I had to rock the shell necklace. I had the frosted tipped hair. I don't know if you noticed that or not. But I was 19 years old. Had no idea what I was doing in front of a camera. But Yeah, I go back and watch those fights. I've always wondered what I would, how I would do if I could fight myself then. Now that I go back and watch those fights, I would piece myself up for sure.
The other one I was going to mention as well was your first MMA fight. It was really interesting hearing you obviously speaking about the lack of takedown defence and stuff like that in that fight. And tell Danny, you might be interested in this, how you rehydrated for that first MMA fight.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you remember that? You got that from my YouTube channel?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so my first MMA fight ever. At this point, I'm training with GSP, Rashad Evans, Nate Marquardt, a lot of these high-level guys. So I was like, why not switch from kickboxing to MMA? And still, at this point, I didn't realize, they never told me once how to rehydrate or how to cut the weight. I literally sat in a sauna for 8 hours.
Oh, no.
And I hadn't been 170 since I was probably in 10th grade in high school. And I rehydrated. We went to a restaurant, Longhorns, and I had like a gallon of sweet tea. I had like 2 steaks and like 2 cheese fries with about a gallon of ranch. And that's what I had.
But
And I about
not,
vomited in the octagon. It was the worst. It was terrible.
Yeah, it's when you described it, it's, Danny, how do you think you'd manage if you attempted to rehydrate in that fashion?
Oh, Jesus. Saying that, it was the wild, wild west, even like that in Scotland 8-9 years ago. I mind Stevie telling us he used to get off the scales and just eat like 2 peanut butter sandwiches straight away.
Oh my gosh.
Or nothing, so it's...
Yeah, like zero
what was
food.
going
I had
on then.
zero water leading into that fight. Like zero. Nothing but sweet. I don't know if you ever had Southern sweet tea. Have y'all had sweet
I've
tea?
not.
It's the nectar of the gods, I'm telling you. You guys, if you ever make it to the States, come to South Carolina, I'll hook you up, all right?
I'm on it.
Yeah.
But see, when you've got GSP in your camp, surely he's just the fountain of knowledge for weight cuts and...
Oh, 100%. I mean, then it was more about the techniques. It was more about, because I had put jiu-jitsu and wrestling on the back burner for many years because I was focused on kickboxing. So once I started training... Huh?
You're a brown belt.
Yeah, I'm a brown belt, yes. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu at this point under Carlos Machado. So Carlos Machado, he's actually my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I read that earlier on. That must be a pretty cool relationship to be.
It is really cool. They're out of Dallas, Texas. He runs a bunch of schools. My sister runs his schools. They have 4 kids together. So, and yeah, everybody's asking us if we plan these marriages because my brother married Chris Weidman's sister.
Chris Weidman's sister.
Yeah,
right?
man. It's like, I promise you, they're not playing marriages. They just meet and it's over. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have Carlos Machado in my corner and have Chris Weidman, in my camps whenever I want him. It's great. It makes the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu so much easier when you have somebody as high level as these guys. 100%. And of course, we have, a bunch of high level guys coming to the gym. We had, it was at Ryan Hall in before the quarantine. He spent about a week and a half with us, working on his striking and vice versa, working on my jiu-jitsu as well, and his heel hooks and things like that. The guys
going to fill out an Eminari role?
Oh, definitely not. 100% not. No.
Sidekick to Eminari.
If I did an Eminari role and I submit somebody, then I'm quitting. I'm just quitting MMA.
Yeah, that's a great team to have around you, especially obviously you being such a fantastic striker, to have that wrestling there with Chris and then obviously jiu-jitsu with the Machados. That's a great group to have around you.
Yeah, man, I keep a small circle, of people around me, good positive people. Our gym, we don't have a ton of talent in there, we have good talent, but we don't have. It's not like I'm going to an ATT, where you have. Everybody on the floor is just a monster, because when it gets to that point, you have a lot of egos. You have a lot of people, and MMA is a very selfish sport. Everybody's about them and their own, So, we have a great team. Everybody that goes out and trains, we take care of each other. We spar very safely, which is why I think I'm 37 and, I haven't taken a ton of damage.
How are you 37, man?
How am I 30? I don't know what it is. Maybe
it's that sweet tea. That's what
that sweet tea I'm drinking. That's right. Something in the water down here, man.
There's something to be said for that with the large gyms, though, because you see a lot of fighters going to these big, massive gyms. and it's almost like they get lost in those gyms a bit. I've seen some guys from the UK going over, and their performances. That Mark Diakese kind of suffered for that a wee bit, I would say.
You're just a number. You just become a number, and imagine how much time you'll get from a coach who hasn't got your best interests at heart, and they're there to run a business as opposed to coach a fighter. That's kind of one of the biggest things why I haven't really went away. I don't feel the need to go away.
I don't either.
Got my best interests at heart, and I would trust him above any other coach.
Oh, 100%. I think that's a good thing you're doing too. You know, you get a lot of guys out there who are so used to jumping from gym to gym to gym to gym, and you get to the point to where you got to be loyal to some places, and martial arts has kind of lost that a little bit. You know, that loyalty. Yeah. So we're big on loyalty, and I've got a handful of people that I train with, and that's it. You know, that small circle. Those guys, those teammates that, you know, closer to fight time, they're giving you a good look, giving you a good push, but at the same time, keeping your body healthy, and coaches that really care about you. You know, not just going to stick you out there for the paycheck, you know?
Yeah. One other thing I was actually wanting to ask you is, when MMA boomed in Scotland, see things like traditional karate and a lot of traditional martial arts, they suffered quite a lot because a lot of people were moving over to MMA. Over in the States, was there any of that sort of thing happening over there? Did you see that? Any drop-offs and people going to karate classes because of MMA?
In traditional, yes. I believe so. In traditional martial arts, yes. But, you know, our school, my dad's, he's a pretty intelligent guy. You know, he got his blue belt back in the early 90s from Hoist Gracie.
Oh, wow.
And so jiu-jitsu and wrestling has always been a part of our style of karate, Kempo. Because 99.9% of the time in a street situation, you're going to end up on the ground. So you don't have those ground wars, even in a cage or not. In the street situation, you go to YouTube and you YouTube street fights, 99% of them are on the ground. They get taken down, you know, they get slammed on the ground. So you got to know how to fight there as well. And we want our students to know that. So it didn't really affect us too much, but the traditional guys for sure. But that was the thing for the longest time, because I come from a traditional background of karate. And in the early, I think it was the 80s and early 90s, you had these guys that they were McDojo black belts. You know, they were these guys who'd never really fought or had the experience of fighting. Or maybe they just got to a certain level, said they were black belts, and decided to open a school. And it made all of us look bad, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why in the earlier days, karate was looked down upon. But then you had Lyoto Machida come into the picture. Traditional karate stylist doing work.
Amazing.
He was kind of my inspiration as well. You know, you had Georges St-Pierre, who's a Kyokushin. Oh, wait, I don't think it was Kyokushin. What was it?
I'm sure it wasn't. Not Kyokushin.
I think it was Shotokan. Shotokan karate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now you're getting these point fighters now. These guys who used to do point fighting back then. I did when I was a kid. And they were doing work. Raymond Daniels, you know, Michael Page Venom. And you're starting to see these guys in MMA using that karate style, that karate stance, moving.
Did you kickbox Raymond Daniels?
I did in World Combat League.
Cool. How did that go?
I ended up tearing every ligament in my left leg like 30 seconds in.
Oh no!
So I don't know if you ever watched the World Combat League. We fought in a weird stage. It was like a bowl.
Yeah,
it looked like a bowl, right?
I've seen bits of it. Yeah.
And it wasn't a canvas. It was like a plastic, kind of like a
PVC cover kind of.
Yeah. Very slick. So when I went out there, they didn't wipe up from the fight before. One of the guys had fallen on his back, and they didn't wipe up the sweat. So I ended up slipping in the sweat. At the same time, he pulled me down, and my left leg just caved in, tore everything. I was out for 3 years then.
Oh God.
Jesus. Has he fully transitioned to MMA? I know I've seen some of his highlights and stuff, and he's maybe been doing stuff with the small gloves on, but I don't know. Is he fighting MMA now?
Yeah, he is.
He is. He's fighting for Bellator. He just knocked a guy out, I believe, but definitely predominantly stand up. I don't. him and Michael Page Venom used to do point fighting back in the day, and Raymond Daniels would beat him. He would always beat Michael Page Venom. But I think if they face each other now, I think MVP would put a hurt on Raymond Daniels. I think he's just the better, well-rounded fighter. Daniels is 40 years old, man.
Is that
and
right?
still moves like a ninja.
Does he drink that sweet tea as well? Just out of interest.
I don't know, man. I think he's out in California, maybe.
Yeah, he had that crazy knockout, didn't he? It was like I'm trying to remember.
Overhand.
Yeah, like faked. I can't remember if he faked a kick.
He spun around 3 times.
Yeah,
faked a kick and hit him in the right hand, knocked the guy out.
Beautiful.
But he was crushing the guy. He was crushing the guy. Shouldn't even been out there with him.
It's Bellator. I don't want to go too hard in the paint on them, but matchmaking can be a bit ropey from time to time. I'd love to see guys like MVP and Raymond over in the UFC, just to see. You always want to see guys in the UFC to see how they would do. Where it's whatever you get in the UFC is going to be tough. And on that note, we've had UFC fights back as well. Obviously, I seen you were live streaming the fights. First of all, Stephen, what was it like when you found out, obviously, the fights were back in action out in Jacksonville?
It was great, man. I mean, it gave me the sense that everything was slowly getting back to normal. And not only that, but it gives the attention to my sport, because it's the only sport that's happening right now is MMA.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, so it's bringing new fans over to the sport of MMA because it's the only thing on, which, you know, that's what I was most excited for, the popularity of it. You know, I want to see MMA grow as a fan base more than anything, and it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world.
Yeah, and I mean that it kicked off with obviously Gaethje and Tony, and I mean that card from top to bottom was outstanding. Some great fights even on the undercard. Obviously, Luque was fighting Nico Price. Luque,
he looked great.
Luque he was awesome. Excellent. Yes.
Yeah, man.
His hand combinations, his counter strikes, and he pieced on. I think he just schooled him. He schooled him.
Yeah.
And Jocko looked slow.
Yeah.
Which in some of these fights last Saturday, even Wednesday, a lot of these guys were tiring pretty quickly, and I think it has to do with not getting a full camp in.
Yeah.
You know, or the lack of training partners and skill work they're able to do.
Or even, the lack of sparring even. I don't know if these guys are getting any rounds in at all in the last sort of 6 to 7 weeks. You can be as fit as you want on the bags or on the pads or whatever, but it's a different ballgame when it's actually live and you're having to think and
that's a must. And that's a must, especially before a fight, because you realize, you know, what you need to work on when you do your sparring, where your cardio's at. Because like you said, man, we got guys that come in that can run marathons, but they can't do a 5-minute round of MMA sparring. It's just another level.
It's a different.
So you gotta have that. It's difficult.
Different type of fitness altogether.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
And we had obviously. What did you think of that main event, Tony and Gaethje? Did you see that fight going that way?
I mean, I did. I figured before the fight even started, I know Gaethje talked about not being in shape.
Yeah.
He said he was going to have to knock him out in the earlier rounds because he's not going to be able to make 4th and 5th round. But he actually did very well. You know, he made it all the way to the 5th round where he stopped him, obviously. But both fighters, it was going to be a barn burner no matter what.
Yeah.
Both fighters walk forward. They throw as hard as they can. And I think Tony Ferguson's a little bit more technical. He didn't look it in this fight, though.
Nah, he never.
He just walked forward and took the punishment. And in the 5th round, I almost felt sorry for him. I was like, stop the fight. Like, I'm screaming at the camera, stop the fight, because he's sitting there shaking his head. And it's like, that's not normal. You know, for somebody to do that, just kind of like shake his head and turn away. And
he's too tough for his own good.
He is, yeah. And not only that, you know, 10 years from now, how is he going to be?
Well,
Gaethje too. Guys with that kind of style, that rock'em sock'em robot style. I mean, Gaethje about got knocked out in the fight too, and it feels like that happens to him a lot in the fights. He about gets knocked out, comes back for the win, but
surely you've only got so many of those, right? Those. You've only got so many.
Yeah,
and I've talked to a lot of veterans, and you know, Forrest Griffin, for instance, you know, he loved the guy to death. But I asked him one day, what could he go back and change? And he said, you know, to be able to fight like you, or to be able to change my training up as well, because most of these guys lose their chin in the gym because every every sparring session, they're trying to knock each other out, which, you got to give a real look, but you can't condition the brain, No. If you want to hit hard to the body, hit hard to the legs, wrestle hard, do the jiu-jitsu hard, but you got to keep it light to the head. When I spar, I pad it from head to toe. I wear big 18-ounce gloves, and, I want to be able to fight 5-6 years from now and still be okay, still be able to have a good conversation with somebody,
Yes. I guess that comes back to what we were talking about earlier about the team you have with you. You need to know that the guys in the corner are willing to stop that fight to protect you from yourself.
Right. And you see that, you gotta have good coaches, there with you. Even in sparring, in the cage, there was a lot of crap talk about Anthony Smith's coaches allowing that fight to go on when he's handing the referee his teeth. Yeah. It comes to the game. You make it, I've seen people get their teeth knocked out before, but you got to have, to me, it kind of varies, because I've told my dad too. We had this unwritten rule that, don't stop the fight. This guy's going to either submit me or knock me out. Like, don't ever step in. And that was even in kickboxing when you're allowed to throw in the towel. Yeah. But, he never did.
Sometimes people need save from themselves, though, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
Like the corners can give the fighters an honourable exit to a certain extent, because, somebody like Anthony Smith's never going to tap from strikes. He's never going to pretend that he's unconscious. He's never going to do it. But if his corner was to say, if his corner was to throw the towel in, he could always come back and say, well, the corner threw the towel in, and give him that honourable exit, and he doesn't need to take too much damage. It's just, it's rough to watch. It's tough.
And that was my point exactly. I would never want to be the one to say I quit. And us as fighters, we're not going to. And you got guys who fight and you can tell they're looking for a way out, but then you got the guys like Gaethje and Tony Ferguson, Anthony Smith, and you and me that I'm just not going to do it. You're going to have to either kill me, or you're just going to have to stop it yourself. So you got to have coaches out there be willing to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I imagine that must be especially difficult when your father's the coach as well, because I would imagine he's got to switch that being your dad part off to be the coach when he's in the corner, which can't be easy.
Oh no, man! He's been in my corner since my very first fight when I was 15 years old. Yeah, and in the gym, he's coach. He's the man. Whatever he says, I do. Outside of that, and I understand that. I've kind of learned as a kid at a young age, that respect that you have. And outside of that, he's my pops, but in the gym and in the corner, what he says goes. And I think you see a lot of guys out there, a lot of father-son duo, especially in boxing, the successful son thinks he knows more than their pops, and they end up butting heads and it never works out. You saw, was it the Mayweather or Roy Jones Jr., him and his dad kind of broke apart, but I always had that respect for him. He fought back in the 70s and 80s and has trained world champion kickboxers ever since, and MMA fighters. So he knows what he's doing for sure.
It's obviously working so far.
We definitely butt heads for sure, but at the end of the day, he's the man. So.
Well, that's it. And in regards to yourself, Stephen, what have you got? What are you looking at in the future? When are you expecting or hoping to get back in there?
I don't know. My hands are feeling good. Ended up breaking both my hands in November. Yeah. But they're healed up. Took a long time for them to heal for some reason. I don't know what the deal was, but I had some tendon damage in my right hand. Couldn't close my hand for the longest. But everything's feeling good. I don't know. I don't know even who I would even face. Anybody in the top 4. But I know those guys are so close for that title, and it could be any one of them, So I don't know if they would be willing to fight me, but, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, I mean, I fought and beat Masvidal already. I would love to, fight him because he's ranked above me. So I'd fight anybody I don't think anybody wants to see me and Tyron go at it again. We fought twice already.
So close, man. I thought you got the nod. The second fight I thought was so close.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, but you live and learn, man. You can't leave it in the judge's eyes. You know that, right?
You've had a few fights like that. It's just a whisker away. I even thought when you fought Till in Liverpool, I thought it was razor close as well. It was such a close fight.
Yeah, man, and I definitely had to go back and kind of rethink things on how I perform out there for sure, because you can't leave it in the judge's eyes. You got to put in the work. I trained 7-8 weeks in a training camp, just beating the crap out of my sparring partners, and then beating the crap out of me, and the stress that goes along with it, to just leave it for the judges.
Yeah. Do you think the weight cut made a big difference? Him missing the weight, do you think that had an effect on the fight?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I could tell he was a big boy, but in the first round, he ended up hitting with a side kick to the knee, and I ended up tearing my MCL in that first round, which kept me from moving like I normally do. The angle change and things like that. And it's the knee that I've already had 4 surgeries on, so it was like, do I risk it, or do I kind of gotta try and play it safe? And I felt like I made the right decision at that point. I wasn't able to move around like I wanted to, so I had to really wait for him to throw a punch and then try and counter him.
Yeah. Just when you're talking about Till there, I know you were awarded the nicest MF belt, but I saw you back in April there, you had a wee bit of a heel turn online. Till.
Just a little
we didn't miss that. Yeah. Was that the quarantine?
We were having fun back and forth. He told me to come up to middleweight. I was like, I'm not going to middleweight, man.
Yeah, he's big enough at welter.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys, man. I spar Chris Weidman, who's a 185er. He throws me around like a little rag doll.
He's a big dude, Chris.
They're big boys, man. They walk around about 225, 230. Yeah. They cut the 185. It's like, no.
That's that wrestler mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
100%.
You mentioned the name there, Leon Edwards, because I kind of thought it'd be a good fight. And I think it makes sense, because Leon obviously had the Tyron fight that went away. It doesn't look like he's going to get that now, so it looks like Leon Edwards might be in a wee bit of limbo. So would that be what you would be interested in? Because I think that'd be a really good fight, you and Leon.
I think so too. I mean, Leon Edwards would definitely be a fun fight for sure. Like I said, he's so close to the title at this point, and I think he deserves the title. I mean, he's on an 8-fight winning streak. Like who's done that right now? Who definitely deserves it? I don't understand it. Yeah,
everybody's sleeping on him. I don't know why he's not getting the respect he deserves. I'd love to see you fight Colby. I think that'd be a good one.
Colby. I think everybody in the division wants to fight Colby. I'd love to fight that guy, man.
I think stylistically, you'd be a nightmare for him.
Thank you. And most of the guys that I've faced in the past have been kind of like that aggressive guy, and I've done well against those aggressive fighters. Wrestlers, Johnny Hendricks, Jake Ellenberger, even Rory McDonald. But I think I could finish him.
Yep.
He ended up running into something. His striking's not all that good. I mean, Usman pieced him up.
It's just volume, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his volume, and it's one of those fights. As much as people hate him, all the stuff he talks about, it does build a fight. People tune in.
Eyeballs. You gotta have that guy. You have the people that they love, and then they have the people they love to hate.
Yeah.
So you have to have the both. And he's really playing that part.
And he's been writing some COVID stuff down, waiting for his next fight. He's going to be pulling that right out from under the MAGA hat.
He's not even good at it. I mean, is he? He's not even good at it.
He's a bit cringy. I don't know who's cringier, him or Henry. Henry likes to feel a bit of the cringe out. Cejudo, yeah.
But he's actually a super nice guy. I was on Family Feud with him several months back.
Yeah.
And he's a super nice guy, man. Henry Cejudo, but he plays that character very well, that cringe.
Yeah, one of the guys that trains at a higher level gym in Scotland, Craig McIntosh, he actually ended up sharing an Uber with Henry Cejudo before he was Triple C.
Triple C.
And he said the same. He said he was a really lovely guy. He's obviously playing a part, and
Oh yeah.
a lot of guys are. Have you ever considered doing that yourself?
No.
No.
Like I know I'm not good at it. That's why I don't do it. Kobe's not good at it. He does it anyway.
Aye.
I'm not the crap talker, man. And plus, I got 600 kids back home that watch every move I make. I want to be a good example for them, a good martial arts example for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that is the other thing. When you've got all those kids looking up to you, you can't be pulling some crazy stunts.
That's right.
Just let your fighting do the talking as you've done. That seems to be doing the trick anyway.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Just one last question for you, Stephen, then we'll let you go. So I noticed when I was having a look at some of your videos on YouTube, I noticed you've got a lot of anime posters behind you.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite anime?
Oh man, at this point, it's I'm watching My Hero Academia, but I started my anime venture when I was little. I watched an anime called Ninja Scrolls,
right?
And I was probably 12, and it was pretty vulgar in those days. I kind of fell in love with the blood, the guts, and I don't know, man, just the whole martial arts aspect of it, because it's crazy. I don't know who these anime artists are, but there's a lot of actual martial arts and really good stuff in it, So My Hero Academia, I watched Demon Slayer, Naruto Shippuden, which I love. It's crazy. And what actually allowed me to train, it was my inspiration to train as hard as I could, was Dragon Ball Z back when I was in high school.
That's why I asked the question. I was hoping you said that.
Dragon Ball Z, I'm telling you, man, that was like, me and my brothers would sit there and watch Dragon Ball Z. Man, they train so hard. I said, we got to train like that all the time, Yeah. So that was kind of like our inspiration to train as hard as we could.
Was that an inspiration for the Frosted Tips? Super Saiyan?
No, man, that was just cringe. I'm sorry. That was the thing back in the day, man. As soon as my senior year in high school, everybody had the Frosted Tips. I was like,
just jealous.
You had the Frosted Tips, you had the ladies, man.
To be fair, I had this will probably go over your head, Stephen. I had the bleached blonde hair, but that was a reference to a footballer who Daniel probably know, Gaza. So we've all done some dodgy stuff in our past. But yeah, I had to ask you about Dragon Ball Z. Super Saiyan moment in the Frieza saga. Favourite moment of the show?
Frieza saga was the best. Mine, I like the Buu saga for sure.
Buu was good. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Dragon Ball Super yet. The news.
Well,
check it out, man. It's legit.
I am up to. It's kind of slowly coming on in the UK, so I'm catching up. I'm trying to get my son involved as well. He's only 3, but I think he's into it. So
you're speaking a different language to me.
I know this is like total nerd. This is
you gotta
nerd
check
stuff.
it out. My dad calls it cartoons. He's like, man, you're 37-year-olds watching cartoons. I'm like, whoa, Dad, it's anime. Get it right. Not cartoons.
I get the same thing from my wife, 37-year-old watching cartoons, but I do correct her and let her know this is more than a cartoon.
Exactly, right? It's like a soap opera cartoon.
It is.
You fall in love with the characters, man. Characters die. I'm like bawling in my couch, like crying.
It was a total thing in my youth. Dragon Ball GT, we'll just forget about that one though.
Yeah, forget it. I have all the Dragon Ball GTs on cassette tape. Like, you remember cassette, like VCR cassette tapes. And, I kind of ignored it because, they've gone through something else. Oh, somebody's calling in right now.
That's all right.
Can you see me?
Yeah, no, we can't see you. You've lost your video, but we can still hear you.
Oh, hold up.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, there we go.
So you had all the cassettes in?
Yeah, man, I did, for sure.
Perfect. Thought I was a sneaking suspicion. Usually when somebody's get anime posters, usually Dragon Ball Z is in their repertoire of things I've watched. So you didn't disappoint. Like I said, Steve, we won't keep you any longer. We appreciate you coming on and having a chat with us. And obviously we look forward to seeing you back in there again, hopefully very soon.
Just thanks, one more quick one, Stephen.
Yeah, man, go for it.
What's your take on Fight Island, and given the opportunity, will you make the trip?
Oh, I would love to. I mean, that's like a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, you see Mortal Kombat, right? To be a part of that.
We need to do some anime.
Go to Outer World and fight. That would be sick, right? To have like a cage on the beach somewhere. That would be sick. If it's true, if it's a true thing, because Dana says it is, but I've talked to some guys pretty close, pretty high up, and they're in the dark on it. So we'll see. I would love to in July if I could.
The talk over here among the media circles or the people I know is that it's Richard Branson who owns the island that they're going to rent.
It's not. What's his island called again?
I can't recall, but that's the talk.
Sorry, I got another call interview coming in. I think,
no, that's fine. We will let you go. We will let you go, Stephen. We appreciate the time. Thank you very much for chatting with us.
Anytime, guys. Y'all have a good one. All right.
Cheers, man. Stephen, thank you,
guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, guys, that was Stephen Thompson calling in. So, Danny, just we'll finish up on this. Obviously, we kind of spoke about it a wee bit when we were chatting to Stephen, but the Anthony Smith Glover Teixeira fight. What was your take on that fight, and more specifically, the difference in their corners?
I thought Smith looked excellent in round one. He almost a 10-8 round in round one, and then I don't know. He just seemed to fall to bits, and Teixeira took over. He's a crafty, tough old vet, and you can never count a guy like that out. And he just pieced them up. In terms of the corners, like we said earlier on, I think they need to show a duty of care to the fighters. And as much as every corner wants somebody to pull something out the bag and get the win, sometimes you've got to save the fighters from themselves. And Anthony Smith gave all the indications that he wanted out the door.
Do you think there was an element of, because you could hear, I think, I can't remember what commentator said it, but obviously Smith's corner, you could hear everything. It was like 100 miles an hour. It was different coaches shouting, and it was almost like an overload of information. Whereas you obviously hear Teixeira's corner, which is very experienced cornerman in there, and it was, you could hear them vocalising what they think, but it was much more, it seemed much more paced out and I don't know, it came across a lot better to me. Do you think that can have an impact on the fighter in terms of that amount of information?
Absolutely. Like if his head's already buzzed between rounds, the last thing you need is people rabbiting instructions at you. You need one or two clear instructions and then maybe like reinforced again while the fight's going on. But you don't need somebody chirping him from the side. You're trying to concentrate. It's tough enough as it is to think and fight and do it all at once. Never mind try to take on numerous instructions.
Yeah, I mean that part where he hands the referee's teeth. That's I know it's crazy. And did you see the clip of the two of them in the corner and Glover saying to Anthony, I'm sorry about this. That's nuts,
and then he's like, it is what it is. I know. So you know what I mean? And he's just down there, he's taking it. He knows he's not winning that fight.
No.
It's just pure pride that's keeping him in there. And you've got to think long term. I know in the short term it's his pride that's keeping him in there, and it seems like it's the world. When you're in there, you never want to give up, but he's got to think long term, and his coaches and stuff need to think long term too, and should be taking the responsibility to throw that towel in. I actually seen is it Jason Herzog was the referee for that fight? Yeah. He actually came out and said that he took a bit of the blame for letting it go so long, and he had a real good attitude towards it. He says he's going to learn from the experience, he's going to get better, and that's all you can do, really.
I know we like to sometimes, I mean, it's a lose-lose for refs at times. You get hammered if you do, you hammered if you don't.
Aye.
But I think that's one thing you've got to remember as well. These refs are only human, and he might be looking at a guy like Anthony Smith and thinking, right, if it was maybe another fighter, he would step in and stop it, because Anthony Smith is known for being such a tough, durable guy.
It's Lionheart or whatever he calls himself.
Yeah, Lionheart. He's maybe let it go, but
he showed it.
Yeah,
he has the heart of a lion, but again, the fighters need to save from themselves sometimes, and it's the corner's responsibility to do that.
Absolutely. What did you think of the card on Wednesday then?
There was some good stuff. I'm trying to remember. I've mixed up Saturday and Wednesday. There was some good stuff though. I've still.
So we had OSP moving up to heavyweight. Now OSP to me looks like a heavyweight. Man. Was that?
You let me down a wee bit. I just didn't let his kicks go and didn't move as well as I thought he would move at heavyweight.
Do you think there was an element of being worried about the size of Ben Rothwell in there, because you get in that cage and Ben's a big dude?
an element of that, and Rothwell just walking him down and just closing him to that cage wall and just getting the job done. It's just pressure, just good pressure.
It was a good performance for Big Ben Rothwell. He's a really he's a bit of an awkward guy on the mic, but he's had some big wins in his career. The one guy that stood out to me in that card was Drew Dober.
Tough.
Oh, he just looked
tough as old boots.
And Hernandez was obviously he didn't let Hernandez get away from him at all.
Nah,
he kept moving laterally.
Cut him off. Just one step to every 3 steps. Hernandez tried to circle. Dober takes one step and just big shot to pull him back in line, and then he just picked him to bits, man. It was really impressive. He's obviously got good power.
And I reckon Drew Dober will be ranked, I think, after that fight, because that's a few good wins he's coming off now.
He's been around for a long time, man. Drew Dober.
He's one of these guys that just looks like he's turned a corner somewhere, and you see it happening with fighters sometimes, and it looks like that's the case with him. And the other guy,
on that card?
Ricky Simone was on.
That was a great fight as well. Really enjoyed that. Good pace.
Mm-hmm.
Good pace.
It was weird, man. You could obviously see the size and power difference between the two guys, and Ricky Simone was showing me bad intentions. He looked really good. I think we said in the previous one, the only fight he's not looked great in is the Faber one.
Just caught with overhand, wasn't it?
Nah, you just caught and he couldn't recover.
That can happen to anybody on any given night, though. That's how it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. It's a 4-ounce glove, and if it takes one of those shots to scramble your brain, that's the way it goes. And Borg looked good as well, though. His hands were lightning, and he was letting off good shots to the body and stuff too. I really enjoyed that fight.
I think Borg obviously lost the fight, but I think he just maybe needs time to settle into being a bantamweight.
Maybe needs to
start adjusting, because he's clearly been forced to go to bantamweight. He's not going to go back to 125. The other fights, there was 2 other fights in the main card. We obviously had Michael Johnson was fighting Moises. Michael Johnson took him to bits in the first round.
He's lightning, so fast in the first round. Looks excellent. It was almost the same when we were in Singapore with Stevie. When Johnson came out in the first round, he was fast, so fast. Even the second round, he came out super fast, but he looked clueless in that leg lock when he got caught in the leg lock.
That's what I was going to ask, because he got caught in it and he turned. Now, I was expecting him just to put his left leg up and push off the arse.
It was
push out, but he hung in there. A guy with his experience, that's weird.
And it looked almost like it was a straight ankle lock, which most fighter, I'm not going to call the guy out on it or nothing. Like, I'm sure you'd never see anyway. But I mean, I'm not giving him grief about it. But most guys wouldn't tap the straight ankle lock.
I think he did have it in the straight ankle lock, but I think he turned it up on it because it looked like he'd fucked Michael Johnson's knee up after it, because it didn't look like he could walk.
To be honest, though, I think we done some research on Johnson obviously before Stevie's fight. And I think he maybe has got bad knees, so maybe he has tweaked it.
It was just a weird defence, because I thought the minute he caught the ankle, I thought, right, Johnson will just kick right off and he'll end up getting on top of him, and why is he hanging his leg in there? But it is what it is, and it's just
kind of, he didn't really stack him. Like, I think on the leg lock stuff, you need to stack him and push the shins back towards the guy and clear that knee, and he just didn't.
It's one of the ones. It's just getting in there. And it's starting to get that way now, where Michael Johnson, he's just going to start continually dropping down the pecking order. I think his next fight, if he gets one, he has to win the next fight.
I don't know if he'll get another one, man, if I'm honest.
That's quite a lot he's lost. And the other one fight that was on, we had Andre Arlovsky going against, is it Felipe Lins?
It was his debut, Lynn's debut, wasn't it? Arlovsky looked good, man.
I thought so.
Fast and still going. How old is he?
He must be in his 40s. He's in his 40s. Got to be.
He looked real sharp, man. I don't know. I don't know anything about that lens. I put my hands up. I didn't really do any research on him at all. But again, Arlovsky's like that Teixeira. He's done everything you can do. Like, you can throw anybody in there with him, and he's gonna have seen that look before. So if they don't come in sharp, guys like Teixeira and the big man are going to get the wins.
That's it. And I think with Arlovsky, Lindsay's come in, he said there'd a wee bit of hype behind them. So it's a proving ground, isn't it? You put them in with a guy against Arlovsky. If you can't get past him, you're not going to challenge the top guys. Unfortunately for Arlovsky, he's a gatekeeper effectively.
He'll be getting paid well though, to be fair. So
that's it. He'll be. I mean, he's definitely on at least. He'll be on about 200, 150, something like 200.
You'll happily test up and comers for that sort of jam.
Well, that's it, mate. Aye, that's it. And obviously, in this occasion, Linz didn't pass the test. It's just the downsides when you get an up and comer like an Ngannou or something like that.
I know, man. That clean off you.
Aye, then that 200 grand's not looking so good.
Nah. What do you make of John Jones and the Ngannou stuff? Have you seen that?
I've seen it, but I don't know. I saw an article. I saw Dominic Reyes saying John Jones was scared of him. Now, if it's true that Jones doesn't want to fight Reyes because he wants to go up and fight Ngannou, I don't believe he's scared of Reyes at all. I think Jones should have fought Ngannou before this because Ngannou's getting better.
Really?
Aye, I think he should have fought him earlier.
Jones is still taking him down at will, man.
Aye, I would agree with that. I would agree that Jones, the likelihood of Ngannou beating him is slim, but Jones has been caught before. He has been caught with a lot of guys. If he gets caught with Ngannou, he ain't surviving that.
Anybody
so
gets caught with Ngannou.
That's the risk. But technically, Jones is a far superior fighter, better wrestler, better ground game. He's actually a better striker as well. But he doesn't have the touch of death.
Better conditioning too.
Aye.
Jones beats him for me.
I think so as well. Although I wouldn't be crying into my Cheerios if Ngannou took his head clean off.
I'll agree with you there.
But I think that's us for the night, mate. Obviously, cheers for coming on and co-hosting the show with me.
No worries.
Appreciate it. And for everybody tuning into the show, as always, pop onto the Higher Level Facebook page, Instagram, hit the like buttons there and go to the YouTube channel and subscribe and hit the notification button to keep up to speed with everything we're doing.